Hi, host Eric here. Running late and feeling great. Welcome to Talking with Fitness People. I want to use this video to talk more about the verbal patterns, ways of typing people, ways of identifying people. And it occurs to me that, of course, one might use different techniques depending on one's position to the person. So that if you were sitting at a table, let's say next to a couple, you're eating alone, and you're sitting at a table next to a couple that was talking loud enough for you to hear their conversation, and you were watching that, or eavesdropping, and trying to figure out the type of the two people. So in that scenario, you're hearing what they're talking about, and you're not guiding it at all. Then you're going to have one approach and one set of data you can refer to versus a different situation, right? So, for example, if we're talking about that, the matter of the restaurant, like I described, then imagine these two people are having a conversation. You'll be able to know what it's about. And when you're talking about content can tell you a lot if it's that kind of a situation. Of course, you don't know the context for those people. You don't know what their relationship is. They may be talking about work stuff or something that may not really be very revelatory. But if they're having a personal conversation about, say, relationships or something, that's going to tell you something right off the bat. If they're talking about practical matters, they're talking about activities such as physical activities, recreational activities. Now, one thing that Candace observed for me one time, and this would not be useful in typing, it would be counter-useful, it would be sort of indicative of some of the challenges we face. She indicated to me one time, and I noticed, sense that it's true, that males, when they're having conversations with other males that would constitute small talk, they almost always talk about activities that show what they value and who they are. So it would be, I might talk about stuff, instead of talking about stuff we're doing, stuff we got going on, or stuff we've got planned that is an interesting thing to do. Whereas women tend to talk about their relationships and relationships with other people. Now, this may be simply, I think it probably is, it's a way of describing S's. Male S's talk about activities that they do. I think male N's do as well, but it's going to be much less focus on the activity itself and much more focus on what it means. So, if I'm talking, when I go to the barbershop in Temple City, and I hear that it's an old school barbershop, and it's like, it's kind of stereotypical, you could say. It's not bucking expectations much. So, anyway, they talk about things like, they're going fishing. When they talk about other people, they talk about their son or their daughter and what she's doing. And when they express opinions, they express them as just sort of simple declarative statements. They typically don't elaborate much, and they don't engage back and forth on the ideas particularly. They're more likely to say what they don't like than what they do like. It's safer because you're making a much narrower claim, right? You're saying, I don't like this. You can always make that as narrow as you want. So, okay, you can get over now. Right? Yeah, I know. She is an idiot, you're right. There's nothing we can do about that. If I were in a honking mood, then I'd be honking. But if I'm not, then I'm scolding you. So, anyway. So content will tell you a lot. You can sort of eliminate, you can make that distinction on S and N based on content. And the same distinction on S and N if you ask some questions like, why do you like to go fishing? And S will say something like, it relaxes me, you know, I like to be out in the nature, and you know, I don't even care about catching anything. Now, depending on how engaged an N is, I mean, if you ask us a boring enough question, they may just sort of give the same answer, right? So, but if you have a chance to ask a few questions, you sort of dig a little bit about on the whys. N's answer whys very differently than S's. It's kind of the fundamental difference between the two, which is an S is going to answer it in a really concrete way, in ways that don't require much further explanation. And the N is going to seek that further explanation as a primary purpose of thinking about the thing at all. And exactly what kind of explanation they seek, what kind of meaning they make, is going to be dependent on if they're F or T, and the order and stuff like that. So, but I think that's one of the best ways to distinguish between N's and S's is to ask some why questions, and ask why questions that relate to a couple of different antecedent points, I guess, which would be like, ask them why so you ask about something about public policy. Why do you think we keep decreasing taxes or something like that? See what kind of answer they give. And this could also be revelatory on the F and the T. If they give you an answer that talks about the individual politicians and what their intentions are, and psychological things primarily, then they're probably an F. And if they give you answers that are mechanical, like, well, this is a motivating factor, is that there's they talk about it in terms of force vectors, probably a T. Force vectors, I mean, well, why is it like that? Why do you think Californians are more willing to pay higher taxes than, say, Nevadans? A feeler will say, well, I think people here are generally, they're just more open, they're more tolerant, and a feeler will say stuff like that. And a thinker will say, well, because the casinos, for one thing, provide a lot of tax revenue in Nevada, so Nevada should be afforded no taxes to the extent that they aren't needed by the state government, or something like that. That's a good way to distinguish between feelers and thinkers, I would imagine. I haven't done enough of a study on it or whatever. It's not like I keep data in a meaningful way. I am really struck by, I'm going to get off the fucking topic here, I better stop it. I want to talk about other things separately in a different video. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching Talking to Fish.